good UICians.
And good afternoon to our prof. Yan, professor.
Welcome to
our NSTP webinar.
Today we will hear and learn essential things about the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on the environment.
Yes.
Ayan, partner. Kumusta na po, partner?
Yan, okay naman ako, partner. Kamusta naman kaya yung mga naka-tune in ngayon, no? Meron kayo naka-tune in sa YouTube, di ba?
Wow.
Dito sa Zoom, halos 200, yan, 300 na participants na naka-tune in. Yan, hello po, hello. Hello po sa inyo.
Yan, good afternoon po sa ating lahat. Ayan, so partner, mukhang ang ganda ng ating topic for today.
Yes.
Ano po bang masasabi mo?
Nako, kung ako lang, marami eh. 'Di ba? Pero mas marami siguro kung tatanungin natin sila, 'di ba? Pero meron akong kakilala, ayan, yung speaker natin ngayon. Siya yung magdi-discuss kung ano ba yung topic natin, 'di ba?
Yan. So sa akin naman, partner, siguro matatakal po natin dito kung ano yung mga naging epekto ng COVID-19 sa ating kapaligiran, di ba? Yung mga ginagamit
partner.
Mga napapanahon na para pag-usapan din naman natin ang tungkol dito sa COVID-19 na hanggang ngayon ay nasa piling pa rin natin, partner.
Yes, tama.
Yan. So, tanungin po natin ang ating mga participants. Baka po may ma-share po sila. Ano po mga idea po nila at mga expectation nila sa araw po na ito.
Yan, gusto ko yan, partner. Pwede tayo magtawag kahit mga isa o dalawang estudyante mo muna para mag-share kung ano ba yung sa tingin nila. Diba?
Tama, partner. Yan. Sino ang napupusuan dyan, partner? Yan, dami-dami nating participants.
Dami, 300. Sino kaya?
Alam mo, partner, yung mga...
May Nemo.
Yung
Sino ang maswerteng estudyante mapipili ko? Ayun, nagtaas ng kamay si Alexander Arsenal. Sige po, pwede po kayong mag-mute, sir. Pwede rin po mag-open ng camera para po mag-share kayo ng idea ninyo about sa topic natin.
Yan, meron pang nagtaas ng kamay.
Sir Alexander Arsenal. Yan. Pwede ka na po mag-unmute.
Ayan, ano po ang masasabi mo sa ating topic for today?
Sir, sorry sir, napindot lang po.
Napindot lang. Okay, sige. Okay lang yan, okay lang. Akala ko talaga nag-volunteer ka na di ba?
Meron po yung isang mag-volunteer.
Baka meron pong gusto mag-volunteer. Yan, sa YouTube. Pwede rin po kayo mag-comment.
Yes.
Pero sa mga naka-Zoom, pwede rin po kayo magtaas ng kamay.
Yes.
Kung wala, sige. Tingin tayo. Mini-mini may Nemo. Diba? Malamang sa inyo, kinakabahan. Ako, baka ako mapili. Ayan. Si Irene Gwen Suceso. Tama ba yung pagbabasa ko?
Ang ganda ng pangalan, partner.
So, ayan. Pwede po kayo mag-unmute.
Yes po, sir. Siguro po about po sa health protocols sa pag papasok na po sa school kasi malapit na po mag face-to-face eh.
Wow, oo nga, tama. Health protocols ang pinakailangan natin, no? Ganda. Okay.
Okay. Partner. Ayan, sabi ni... Yan, may po partner. Sabi ni 3BFM Guarino Catherine. Sabi niya, naging epekto po ng COVID-19 pandemic sa ating bansa at sa ating ekonomiya.
Wow.
Yan.
Meron din sabi rin ni BSCS18, Trosyo Joan, positive and negative na dulot ng COVID po. Yan. So lahat naman po ng idea ninyo, tama, di ba? Wala naman pong mali.
Tama.
Maraming salamat po sa mga nakikipag-participate sa chat box. Yan, lalo na po sa mga nag-volunteer. Diba?
Yes. Ayan, so partner, so wag po nating patagalin. Mukhang ang mga idea at mga expectation ng ating mga participants ay ilalaban nila yan or i-open nila yan pag nagsimula na ang ating formal 2.
Yes.
Yan. So,
Kung kaya po mag-open ng camera, yan, piliin po mag-open. Pero kung hindi, okay lang din po. Tsaka huwag niyo pong kalimutan na mag-mute ng mga mic para hindi po tayo maka-interrupt sa meeting natin para tuloy-tuloy po, di ba? Yan,
yes,
para mas smooth lang po yung meeting natin. Yes.
Ayan. Yes, naging limited po ang ating galaw dahil sa pandemya. Sabi rin po ni Lea Soriano, good afternoon po. Ayan, ay nawala.
So, dami nagko-comment, partner, ha? Grabe.
Opo. Ayan, so since nagaganahan ng ating mga participants, huwag po nating patagalin, partner. So I think pwede tayong mag-simula. Ayan.
Sige, partner.
Ayan, so thank you participants for sharing your thoughts. Ayan, so to formally, go partner.
To formally start our program, let us all put ourselves in the presence of the Lord through an opening song prayer entitled Center Me, to be followed by the singing of the Philippine National Anthem.
Center me, O Lord, my heart, my mind is drawn to you. Grant me, Lord, the grace of learning, Lord, the works of your hands. May I know the fruits of what is good, of what is just, and of what pleases you, my Lord. Center me, Lord, my heart, my mind, and soul. Tender me, Lord, grant me, Lord, grace of learning, Lord, the works of your hands. May what I know bring forth the fruits of what is good, of what is just, and of what pleases you, my Lord. This is my
Be proud as Filipino Dacians as we sing from the heart, with respect and honor, the Philippine National Anthem.
ang mga tayo ng
Ayan. So, kumusta po tayo, partner? So, kumusta ka po dyan, partner?
Okay naman ako, partner. Ikaw, kamusta?
Ayan, okay naman. So, medyo mainit po dito, pero sa awa naman po ng Diyos, ayan, may electric fan akong katabi. Ayan.
Kayang-kaya, di ba?
Okay, so,
Hey,
partner.
partner, may napansin ako sa may chat box. May nag-comment, sabi ni Villamar Marlo, good afternoon po, ma'am, sir, and co-students. Yan, meron din po si BSN 1B, Gayana Antonio. Ang expectation daw niya sa webinar, sabi niya, topic regarding of COVID-19, new implemented health protocols, how to cope with COVID-19, how to deal with symptoms of COVID-19. Wow, ang dami Grabe, pinarir.
Excited sila sa ating pag-uusapan. Talagang
Yeah,
napakasaya ng ating mga participants, partner. Yan. So, partner. So, pwede na po yata nating welcome kung sino ang ating makakausap at magbibigay sa atin ng ating mapapakinggang panayam.
I think partner, kahit dapat hindi natin patagalin no?
Opo, tama ka dyan, partner.
Pakilala ko na kaya yung speaker natin.
Mga participants, yeah.
Yun po ba yan? Pakilala na po natin para hindi natin patagalin, di ba?
Yes, partner, go home.
Yan, so, he is the environment officer of our school. Let us give virtual warm applause to Sir Jasper Alberto. Sir Jasper.
Ayan. Hello, magandang hapon. Good afternoon, everyone. So, I'm Jasper Alberto from Support Services. So, I'm here as a Pollution Control Officer. So, typically, medyo nagulat kasi nawala ako kanina, tapos narinig ko na lang na parang tama ba ako yung pinapakilala nyo? Tama. So first of all, I would like to say good morning to everyone. Good afternoon pala. Good afternoon to everyone. And good afternoon, Paul and April. Tama ba? Tama yung baso? April.
Good afternoon, sir.
And so, may I just request first for those who are here to open their camera para lang makita ko kayo so that I could see na ayan, nakikinig kayo sa akin. Ayan. So mamaya, some of my students or former students are also here, lalo na sa mga first year to, di ba? Ayan, yung iba dito, mga estudyante ko yan. Ayan. So some of them are messaging me already. Anyway, so we are here to talk about the impact or how does the COVID-19 affects the environment. No, hindi po ako nandito to discuss about math. No, and kasi I'm a math professor, so I teach math. So some of students here ay naturuan ko ng math. So baka may sabihin nila, hala, math yata ito. No, hindi po ito math. No, we're going to talk about the impact of the COVID-19. Okay? So, can we start? Please allow me po muna to share my screen. Yan. Okay, so without any further ado, so let's start our discussion. So we are here. By the way, nakikita niyo po ba yung nasa screen ko? Nakikita niyo? Can you see it? No? Nababasa ba malinaw?
Yes po, sir. Nababasa po.
Thank you. So anyway, na-introduce naman ako ng maayos. Yeah, kasi nga nawala ako bigla. Ayan, so the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on the environment. Actually, this could be very short kasi when we talk about impact, so ano yung effect lang, di ba? So it's either good or bad. But then I'm here to discuss some of the technical things siguro. Paano ba nasabi na maganda nga ba or hindi yung naging epekto ng COVID-19 sa ating environment? Siyempre, all of us has been affected or still being affected, lalo na in terms of health, di ba? So this is a health issue. So sobrang laki ng impact niyan sa atin, no? Specifically sa health natin, no? In terms of mental, physical, emotional, right? So Yung iba sa atin, financially din, di ba, na-apektuhan. Hindi pala iba, halos karamihan, halos lahat. No? So, halos lahat parang umikot or bumaliktad yung mundo because of the pandemic. Okay? But then those are common effects of the pandemic. But then, when we are going to look on the other or into other corner of the pandemic, you could see meron kaya siyang epekto sa environment natin, sa paligid natin. Not on personal or not on people, but on our surroundings. Meron ba? Tingin nyo ba meron? Anyone? What do you think are your insights? Sige, Mr. Uriel. Yan. Once, hindi ko mabasa yung apelido niya. Sige. What's your insight? Ano sa tingin mo yun? Nagkaroon ba ng epekto or wala?
Nagkaroon po. Yung time pong peak ng pandemic po, parang halos po wala pong lumalabas sa bahay. And naging effect po nun is na-lessen po yung air pollution.
Na-less yung air pollution. So, very good point. No? So, isa sa mga insight ni Mr. Uriel is because of the pandemic, nabawasan daw po yung air pollution. O, di ba? Tapos na. Yun na yung topic natin, di ba? The impact. So, nasagot na Mr. Uriel. So, that will be all. Ay, joke lang. Hindi naman. No? So, we're still going to discuss. No? Ano nga pa? Ano pa? Meron pa ba? Bukod ba doon? Meron pa ba? Sa air lang ba nagkaroon ng effect? O baka mamaya meron din sa water, sa land, and so on and so forth. One more answer from nursing. Okay, Ms. Tuason, Maria Erin.
Good afternoon po. So, I think one good example po of a positive effect ng COVID-19 sa ating environment is the recovery of the ozone layer, and that's according to NASA. And I suppose that is a result of the temporary closure of business establishments that use refrigeration and air conditioning units, which emit CFCs. Now, in terms po of negative effects, I think increased medical waste po due to the mandatory use of masks and other PPE in the hospital setting.
Okay, so thank you so much, Ms. Maria Erin. Okay, so last two. Yeah, that's also a good point, no? Halos sinabi na niya lahat, no? I think that will conclude na nga our discussion. Hindi, joke lang. Sige, Sandel, from Mechanical.
Doon tayo sir sa bad news. Marami pong nawalan ng trabaho nung dumating po yung COVID.
Okay, so marami doon ulit ng trabaho. Okay, so that is with regards to the economy, no? So nagkaroon ng malaking kawalan ng trabaho. But then for the environment, yes, one more. Last na to, Mr. Palapal. Yeah, Jan says
Miss po.
Sorry, Miss, sorry.
For me po, I think po yung pagtatanim po ng plants po ng maraming mga parents po, yung mga plantita and plantita po, yung kahit po indoor plants, yung tinatanim po. Meron din pong mga outdoor plants na tinatanim. So, nakakatulong po yung sa circulation po ng air sa atin pong environment po.
Okay, so very good points also, no? So, dahil dumami ang mga plantita at plantita, isa na nga din ang aking mga parents, kasi dalawa sila. It helped, no? Yung oxygen, no? And then additional pa yung sinabi kanina na nawalan nga daw masyado ng carbon dioxide because of the vehicles or the mobiles. So, ayun. So, those are good things. But then, mga magagandang bagay nga lang ba talaga ang nagtulong or ang nangyari or naging epekto ng pandemic sa environment? So let's check on our discussion this afternoon. Okay? So now, let's first ask ano ba yung sabi ng Department of Environment and Natural Resources, okay, or DNR doon sa naging epekto ng ating ng pandemya sa ating environment. Okay? Sabi nila, planet Earth breathes as COVID-19 ranges. Ano sabi doon? Huminga daw po yung planet Earth because of the COVID-19. Okay? So, paano kaya nasabi ng DNR na huminga nga, no? Na nagkaroon ng parang pahinga di ba, ang Earth, okay, habang nagkakaroon ng COVID-19 or habang tayo ay nasa pandemic. No? So let's first talk about the three main environment areas na naapektuhan ng pandemya. Okay, so these are the three. So una sa air, no? Sa air. So sa hinihinga natin, ayan, di ba? So one big factor kasi una pa lang there's a big commotion about kung airborne nga ba si COVID-19 or hindi. Di ba nung una nung pumuputok pa lang yung pandemya. So the question is airborne nga ba si COVID-19? Ibig sabihin nakapag-transmit ba or nakapag-travel ba si COVID-19 doon sa hangin, no, para makahawa ng ibang tao. Okay? So, ano yung naging epekto sa hangin? Ano yung naging epekto ng hangin? Okay? So, pag-uusapan natin yan. Then second is water, no? So, the largest component, no, dito sa mundo. So, hindi pala ng tao pala. So, that's the water. Okay? So, how does the COVID-19 pandemic affects the water? Katulad ng air na sinasabi niyo kanina. Kasi kanina, kung di ako nagkakamali, walang nagbanggit tungkol sa water. We talk about air kanina, yung mga sinabi niyo pong insights na meron nagkaroon ng effect sa air at meron nagkaroon ng effect sa land, no? Or dun sa sinasabi yung numbers or increasing the numbers of waste, solid waste because of the personal protective equipments na ginagamit natin in the hospitals, okay? Or clinics. And then lastly, syempre sa land. Ayan. So these three areas, tingnan natin kung ano ba ang naging epekto ng COVID-19 pandemic sa kanila. Okay? So let's start with with the quality of air, or let's start with the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the quality of air. Gaano nga ba ka-positibo ba or ka-negatibo yung naging impact ng COVID-19 pandemic? Okay? So, before we proceed to the impact, no, pag-usapan muna natin kung ano ba yung mga previous para meron kayong insight na dapat pala itong air natin ever since ay kahit wala nung pandemya, okay siya. Ibig sabihin, malinis siya. Okay? So, let's start with law related or meron kasi tayong batas na related sa quality of air or na related sa kalinisan ng ating hangin. Okay, so what is that law? So that is Republic Act number 8749. So tandaan niya, no? The Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999. So ano yung sinasabi dyan? This act provides a comprehensive air pollution control policy and for other purposes. Okay? So ever since 1999, nagkaroon po tayo ng batas related to the clean air dito sa Pilipinas. Okay? So let me just give you some insight or some summary kung ano ba yung nilalaman dito. Okay? So the Clean Air Act of the Philippines, okay, indicates the laws, the provisions, regulations about the air or the cleanliness of air. Paano natin mapanatili yung air? Paano natin yan magagawang malinis, mapapanatiling malinis? And of course, yung mga penalties kapag hindi natin nagawa yun. Okay? So yun yung nakalagay yun dyan. Okay? So the goal of the Clean Air Act is to attain and sustain yung cleanliness in accordance with the national quality guidelines for criteria pollutants. So ano ba yung mga pollutants? Yung mga pollutants, yun po yung mga bagay or yung mga elements, okay, na nasa hangin, na nagiging rason kung bakit siya nagiging madumi or nagkakaroon tayo ng air pollution. Okay, so those are pollutants. No? Hindi lang po isang klase ng pollutants. There are so many kinds or classification of pollutants. Okay? There are pollutants na hindi natin nakikita. There are pollutants na nakikita natin. And there are also pollutants na naamoy lang natin. Okay? But there are pollutants na wala talaga. Hindi mo maamoy, hindi mo siya makikita. Okay? So, by sustaining and attaining the cleanliness of our air in the Philippines nang hindi po tayo nagsasacrifice, no, sa ating economy. Kasi baka mamaya we are getting or we are attaining the cleanliness of the air pero bumabagsak naman yung economy natin. Paano pwedeng mangyayari yun? When we are too much into technology, I mean, when we are too much into engaging, laging dahil hindi natin kaya mag-control sa mga paggamit natin ng vehicles, inaasa natin sa technology or sa mga makinarya yung paglilinis ng hangin. And we all know that machines, lalo na yung mga paglilinis na mga ganyan, specifically when it comes to air, sobrang mamahal po nila. So, it will be too expensive, okay, kapag lagi natin or iaasa lang natin yung kalinisan or we're just only filtering the air. No? So ano ibig sabihin nun? Dapat tayo bilang mga Pilipino, we also give, no, our actions to help or to sustain the cleanliness of the air here in our country. Okay? Okay, so let me just give you a quotation. So sabi dito, okay, gaano bang kaimportante ang air? So one may live several days without food. Ilan? Mga estimate yung mga nursing, tama ba? 30 days, kung yun nagkakamali. Few days without water. So ilan yung mga 7 days. Okay? But only precious minute of air, or precious minutes without air, anong pwede mangyari sa atin? Pwede tayong mawala. No? Yung 15 minutes na wala kang hangin, no, you might die already. Tama po ba? Tama? No. Kung sa dito. Eh? So, that is how precious the air is. Okay? And as responsible Filipinos, so we should take note, no, we should take care of our air, no, our air. No? So, okay, so let's first talk about pollutants. Kasi mamaya you will see merong specific na pollutant na laging tinatawag. Okay, but then para mas magkaroon kayo ng idea sa iba't ibang klase ng pollutants, here are they. No? So these are the different kinds of pollutants or classifications. So the first and foremost is what we call the particulates. Ito po yung particulates. Nakikita niyo ba yung mouse ko? Hindi ko kasi nakikita yung mouse ko. Can you see yung tinuturo ko, particulates?
Yes po sir, kita
okay.
po.
So what are the particulates? Particulates are small particles na humahalo po sa hangin. So this can be measured as microns. No, meron tayong two classifications na ginagawang basis. Okay, so the first one is the 2.5 particulate matter. So yung tawag sa kanya. So 2.5 PM particulate matter, sabihin po ng PM. No, hindi po yun yung sa mang-inasal yung pagka-order ka. Isa nga pong PM1. Hindi po ganun, no? So pag may nakita ko doon, 2.5 PM, so that means 2.5 particulate matter. So those are 2.5 microns of particles. So gano'n po bang kaliliit yun? Sobrang liliit po nun. Now, kayang mag-filter sa kanya ay kasing nipis ng tissues. Tissue, yung ginagamit nating tissue. So gano'n po siyang kaliliit. No? So the second kind of particulate na madalas po natin or you could see here in the slides is the PM10 or kapag ka naghanap kayo or nag-search kayo, so the PM10. So PM10 naman is 10 microns of particulates. So mas malaki siya ng 7.5 microns dun sa 2.5. So yan, mini-measure din natin yan. So we have here in the Philippines equipments to measure or to get the samples of air quality. No? So using yun nga, yung mga ginagamit kong mga machines, yung mga pang-filter ng air to measure if the air ba dito is polluted or hindi. No? Yeah. So based po doon, so dalawang magkahiwalay yun. Magkahiwalay laging pinifilter ang 2.5 PM or PM 2.5 at saka PM10. So those are particulates. And these are very common, no? Yung mga particulates na yan kapag meron po combustion. No? Saan ba nakikita yung mga combustion yan? Sa mga sasakyan. No? Sa mga burning of fuels, burning of materials, no? So, yung mga kahoy, mga basura. Kaya sa atin sa Pilipinas, pinagbawal natin yan, no? Yung pagsusunog. Kasi it contributes to the pollution, no? To the air pollution specifically. Okay? So the second one is the sulfur oxides. So yun yung mga different chemicals na may sulfur. Okay? So madalas sa mga factories, mga sulfurs. We have lead, no? Yung tingga. Okay? So madalas kasi yung ginagamit yung lead kasi mura siya at saka madaling makuha, madaling ma-accumulate, no? I mean, pwede mo siya makita common ba kumbaga, common yung lead, no? Kaya as much as possible, yung mga paint natin, yung mga pangpintura, okay, wala na yan masyadong lead, no? Even the gasoline, no? Meron tayong mga tinatawag na gasoline sa mga nagmumotor, yung mga unleaded. Bakit? Kasi yung mga unang gasoline, those gasolines has lead, no? Those gasoline have lead. Kaya as much as possible, kaya nga nagkaroon tayo ng tinatawag na Euro 4, Euro 5, may Euro 5 na ngayon, to lessen the pollution. Okay? Then next are nitrogen oxides, ground level ozone. Ano po yung ground level ozone? Yung ozone, yung O3 na nasa ground, yung nasa dito, yung nalalanghap natin. So those ozone kasi, those O3s are nakakalason, no? So toxic yung mga yun. So pagka nalanghap mo yun, pwede kang mahilo, pwede kang magkaroon ng bad effect sa'yo. Okay? And of course, carbon monoxide is very typical to combustion of fuel. No? And of course, sa mga sa mga CFCs, producing machines or mechanics or appliances. Ayan. Sa mga airports, no? Yung mga gumagamit ng mga lumang fuel, no? So those produces CFCs, no? Monocarbons. Okay? Chlorofluorocarbon. So those are things na nakasira or nakapagdagdag ng pollution sa ating paligid. Okay? So what happened to this? Okay? When COVID-19 pandemic came. Okay? So according here, no, I conducted some research, of course. So according to the research conducted by Vinca Institute of Nuclear Sciences in Serbia, no, ano sabi nila? So they confirmed, okay, so ito, these are the effect of pollution to COVID-19. No? Hindi pa po yung epekto ng COVID-19 sa ating air. No? So here is only the effect of the pollution. Ano yung naging epekto ng pollution sa COVID-19? Okay? According to the research, going back, it was confirmed that the short-term exposure, okay, that is acute exposure over a short period of time to main air pollutants is correlated with the increase of the numbers of COVID-19 cases. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Ibig sabihin po nun that as the pollution or in a polluted area, in a polluted region, okay, there is a high rate of transfer of COVID-19 virus. Okay, bakit? Bakit siya nagkakaroon ng mataas na transmission ng COVID-19 virus? Because yung polluted area, let's say for example in China, diba? Sobrang bilis ng paglaganap niya. From Wuhan, nag-cross na siya all throughout the country. Almost all throughout the country with just few months. Okay, bakit? Kasi yung mga sinasabi ko kanina, mga particulate matter, yung mga PM2.5 tsaka PM10, okay, those could be medium, no? Those could be medium for the virus to transfer from a person, from a contaminated area or from an infected person to other area. Bakit? Kasi sobrang liit ng mga particulate na yun. No? So sobrang liit nila, ano ba ang laki ng COVID-19? So, mas maliit siya ng konti. So, pwedeng mag-attach siya doon sa particulate matter na yun and then madala ng hangin into other region. So, that's why nagkaroon po ng mataas, no, na cases doon sa mga areas na polluted. Nakuha? Nagigets po ba natin yun? Nakuha natin yun? So, that's why, that's the reason kung bakit yung COVID-19, mas madali siyang nag-transmit doon sa mga polluted. Okay? So, ayan. May question po so far? Wala pa naman. O baka may tanong kayo? Ayan. So, ano naman, no? What is kung ang pollution nagkaroon ng epekto sa COVID-19? So, vice versa. Does COVID-19 pandemic affect the quality of air? So, let's see. So, this is the next slide. No? So, what happened to the air quality before, during, and then after quarantine periods? So, those quarantine periods, those are included ECQ, DCQ, and so on and so forth. No? So, unahin natin, of course, is yung before. No? So, according to DNR, no, Environmental Management Bureau of the Department of Environment Natural Resources, or EMBDNR, sabi dito, air pollution decreased significantly, no, particularly in Metro Manila. Ganong kalaki daw po yung nawala or nagkaroon ng reduction doon sa number of particulate matter. Okay? Sabi dito, particulate matter goes down, no? From 241,000, no, to 32,000. So sobrang laki nun. Ilang percent yun? Di ba? Sobrang laki niya. Yung ibinaba, no, mula sa 241,000 to 32,000 during the period. So yung 241,000, these are the number of particulates before ECQ, or the average number of particulates na nakuha nila, no? Yung sinasabi ko using the equipments, no? Yung kinukuha nila mula sa equipment sa yon before pandemic is averagely 241,000. Okay? And then during ECQs, no, in Metro Manila, there are only 32,000. Okay? So, by the way, siguro magtatanong kayo bakit in Metro Manila. Meron po ba dito sa Bulacan? Here in Bulacan, wala pang na-establish nung equipment na yun, yung para ma-check mo yung air quality. So, if I'm mistaken, merong 8 sa Manila. No? So, sa Manila muna sila nag-ganun. Kasi those are new technologies. Parang 3 years ago lang siya na-try and ayun, ginagamit nila. So, but then, as what DNR, kasi way back then, I had seminar with DNR. So, they're already planning to install, no, yung mga machines na yun to check the air pollution in the nearby provinces. So, malapit na rin sa Bulacan. Okay? So, anyway, so let me show you kung ano po ba yung itsura. So, syempre, baka mamaya ma-imagine ano yung itsura nila. No? So, here are the comparison photo, no, of air quality before and during ECQ. Okay? So, on your left side, doon sa screen nyo, nakikita nyo dyan, that is the image, no? Same yan, parehas po yan ng pinicturean. So, this is the Metro Manila, and then yung kanyang nasa likod ay ang Sierra Madre, no? So, kung makikita nyo, before ECQ, halos hindi makita yung Sierra Madre. Okay? So, ganun kadumi, ganun ka polluted yung air sa Metro Manila during that time. Okay? And during ECQ, what happened? Kitang-kita, no? Kitang-kita mo yung Sierra Madre and of course the buildings, no? Sobrang ganda. Okay, so that is from ABS-CBN News Philippines. Okay, so I have also here another photo. So this is around Pasay, kung di ako nagkakamali. So the photo on the upper hand, on the upper part is was taken rather last December 2019. So last December 2019, that was before the COVID-19 virus came to our country. Diba? Nakita nyo yung dark line here sa upper part nung yung may mga puno-puno. Nakita nyo yung dark line. So nawala yung during March 21. So March 21, it's about, kung di ako nagkakamali, only a week after i-declare yung lockdown. Tama? So March 21. So this is March 21 photo. Tingnan nyo kung gano'ng kabilis na wala. Di ba? Kung gano'ng ka-clear yung sky. So this was taken before and during ECQ in Metro Manila. No? Ayan. So, sabi dito, no, according to Stamina for Space, a Philippine research program, no, so the emission daw po of the nitrogen oxide or gaseous pollutant from cars ay babalik in the near future dun sa level ng 2019 as we go through opening the establishment, reusing our cars again. Kasi kung mapapansin nyo, nung medyo lumuwag na, last December, right? December 2021, halos biglang sumikip yung daan. Napansin nyo ba yun? Maraming traffic, lalo na dyan sa may bandang wakas. Ayan, maraming nagkaaroon ng, parang dumami sa sakyan. Okay? Kasi, di ba nahinto yung transportation? So, what happened was, nahinto yung transportation, syempre yung mga healthcare workers, ayan, they have to still go to hospitals kasi kailangan sila doon. So, some of them bought brand new motorcycles, brand new cars. So, kaya sabi dito, expected daw po na as we go back to the normal situation, yung nagagamit natin yung mga sakyan, we could go somewhere here in the Philippines, we could go into other places, maaaring bumalik, no, yung pollution, yung air contamination, yung itsura ng yung aming quality ng air natin, okay, bago magkaroon ng quarantine. Okay? So yun yung sinasabi ko. Okay? So as you can see here, okay, nakakita niyo ba yung graph? Kumuha ako ng data from NCR Quality Assessment. Okay? Nakikita niyo po ba or malabo? Yan. Discuss ko na lang. Yung kulay gray na line, so that was 2019 data. No? So that's 2019 data. Okay, about the nitrogen oxide contamination in air or the content of nitrogen oxide sa air po natin dito sa NCR. Okay? Tingnan niyo yung 2019, di ba? At this line siya, no, at this point. Pagdating yung kulay asul naman, okay? Yun naman po ay 2020 data, no? So 2020 na data. So this is from January to December. Okay? So for the whole year, kung mapapansin nyo, yung kulay blue, sobrang baba niya compared to the gray line. Tama? Nakikita niyo ba? Okay? But tingnan niyo yung red. Ano ba yung red? Red is 2021 data. No? Yung iba sa mga periods, halos tumataas pa or mas mataas pa siya doon sa 2019 data or 2019 number of nitrogen oxide sa ating air. Okay, bakit? Kasi nga po, dahil nung panahon ng lockdown, which is nung 2020, yan, mababa, di ba? Mababa. Pero there's still some uses their cars, di ba? Siyempre, yung mga kotse nila, yung mga motor nila, kailangan pa rin yung paandarin. No? And then, as we go back to the normal life, ayan, doon sa umpisa ng 2021, mababa pa eh. Pero as we go through the month of June, July, no, tumataas siya. Bakit? Yung panahon na nagbubukas na ulit yung mga factories, yung mga transportation, yan yung panahon na dumadami or pumapasadaw na uli yung mga jeep, right? Yung mga public transportation. So, halos pumapantay or minsan pa nga umaangat pa siya dun sa previous. No? So, that is the quality of air in NCR. Okay? So, the next one here, ito naman po yung aerosol, no? Aerosol optical depth retrieval. So, kanina, based siya sa nitrogen oxide. So, this is from, based naman po sa aerosol. So, same po yung kulay gray, those are 2019 data, no? And then yung kulay asul ay 2020 data, and then yung kulay pula is 2021. So, napansin nyo, around July, ano yung pinakamataas yung 2021. So, sobrang taas. Okay? One reason na rin dyan because some of the factories, some of the the companies, hinahabol nila yung mga quota nila nung nawala nung panahon ng lockdown. So talagang, ayan, kung mapansin, ito yung, kumbaga parang transition period eh. Yung talagang almost, yung iba, 24/7 yung operations, di ba? Even in transportation, no? Yeah. Okay? So, any question so far about the effect of COVID-19 pandemic to air? So, ano yung naging epekto niya? So, when we're going to talk about the quarantine period, so it has a big help, no, for the earth to breathe kasi bumaba yung pollution. But ano nangyayari after nung pandemya, after nung quarantine? Kita natin sa graph, still soaring high. Diba? Bumabalik siya dun sa dati. Okay? So, as a Filipino, as a responsible Filipino, no, dito sa Pilipinas, dapat maging isa tayo doon sa nagko-control. Diba? Kung paano natin mapapangalagaan or maibabalik natin, no? Maibabalik natin yung quality ng air nung pandemya. Diba? We survived during pandemic period. Tama? Kasi kung hindi, wala tayo dito. So, thanks to God, we survived. No? So, why not we reduce, no? Hindi, wag natin ibalik yung dati na gamit lang ng gato, gasa lang ng gato. Alam mo, we need to control. No? So, tayo personally, sa ating mga sarili, ano yung pwede natin gawin to help our air, no? To be clean? May naisip na kayo, ano yung mga pwede nyong gawin? What you can do, no, as a person, as a Filipino or responsible Filipino. So number one, syempre iwasan niyo na magsunog ng mga ng mga basura, di ba? Kahit na sabihin nating bawal, by the way, there is a law na bawal na po magsunog ng basura, but then there are still people, there are still Filipinos sa mga barangay, sa mga liblib na lugar na susunod pa rin sila. Okay? Ano pa? Lessen the use of vehicles. No? Lalo ngayon, sobrang bilis ng makahanap ng motor. Diba? Sobrang bilis ng makakuha ng motor, sasakyan. And because of the pandemic, sobrang daming kumuha ng sasakyan. No? For safety, yes. But then, let's not forget, no, huwag natin kalimutan yung ating paligid, yung ating kalikasan. No? So, iba dyan, going to Manila, isa lang yung sakay mo sa sasakyan. Ano yung sasakyan niya? Van. So, a 14 to 16-seater van, ang nakasakay lang isa, dalawa, tatlo. Okay? So, by minimizing those kind of situation, no, we could help the country. Okay? Ay, sorry. Meron pa isang slide. So, how about, ano na po ba, kamusta na po ba ang air natin or air quality natin today? Okay? So, for my last slide about air quality, no? About, the impact of COVID-19 pandemic rather to the air. Okay? So, as of today, no? As in ngayon po yan, Tuesday, 8 o'clock a.m. Okay? So, in Santa Rosa, Manila, the air quality is at moderate. No? So, at moderate, yan po ay nag-range po siya ng 50-100. No? Yung ito yung nakalagay, yung nasa gilid, 50 to 100. Ayan. Ito yung PM 2.5, so that is around 52 to 100. So, 76 yung PM 2.5, so that's still good. No? Moderate lang siya. Okay? Pero kapag tumasa siya ng 100, okay, so that is something you need to be alert. No, bakit? Kasi nakakasama na po yun sa health po ng tao. Okay? Kapag tayong 76 na to, umabot siya ng 101, okay? That is already bad on our health. So, yun yung hangin na nalalanghap mo, tapos pinifilter ng lungs mo, and because of those pollutants, lalo na yung mga PM 2.5 and then PM 10, so para na rin humihitit ng cigarette. Okay? So, panatilihin po natin. No? Let's help our country, our earth, okay, to maintain clean air around us. Okay? To have clean air and healthy air quality. Okay? Malinaw po ba yun? Can we do that? Kaya ba natin yun? Na matulungan yung ating paligid or ating mundo na magkaroon ng maganda na air quality? Or kahit yung Philippines na lang, di ba? Kahit yung Philippines sa ating mga paligid. Okay? Kaya ba natin yun? Siyempre, di ba, as a responsible Filipino, no, kaya natin yun. Di ba? Tama po? Ayan. Okay? So now, medyo napapahaba ako doon. so let's now go to the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on the quality of water. Okay? So here in the Philippines, there are only few, sobrang konti, no, ng mga researchers or researches, articles about the quality of air, quality of water rather, dito sa ating bansa. Bakit? Kasi polluted na, di ba? Halos ilang percent, no? More than 10% already, di ba? But then we're trying to revive, no? Lalo na yung mga malalapit sa ating ilog, na may Kawayan, Bukawi, Santa Maria, di ba? But then nagkaroon ba ng epekto yung COVID-19 pandemic sa quality of water? So let's talk about this generally, so worldwide and locally. Okay? So unahin natin natin with law. Okay, so we also have here, no, the Philippine Clean Water Act of 2004. So this was published and signed 2004. Okay, so this is the RA number 9275. Okay, so the Republic Act provides for comprehensive and integrated strategy to prevent and minimize through a multi-sectoral and participatory approach involving all stakeholders. Okay? So magkaroon po ng mababa, no? At maiwasan po ang pollution sa ating paligid, sa ating sangkatubigan, no? Sa mga tubig natin, bodies of water. Okay? So declaration of the principle, the state shall pursue a policy of economic growth in a manner consistent with the protection, okay? Preservation, revival, quality of our fresh, brackish, and marine waters. To achieve this, okay, end, the framework for sustainable development shall be pursued. Okay? So kailangan daw po natin ng sustainable development, framework for sustainable development sa ating paligid, no? Locally and national. Okay? So what happened to the water, okay, because of pandemic? So due to the lockdowns and restrictions, okay, people, ayan, walang nakakapunta ng beach, di ba? Walang nakakapunta ng mga tawag dito, yung vacation, yung pumupunta, ayan, yung vitamin C, wala pong nakatanggap o nakatikim ng vitamin C ng mga turista, di ba? So yung mga naka-experience lang nun, are those who are in coastal area, yung mga malalapit lang talaga sa mga dagat, ilog, ganyan. So, ano naging epekto nun? Nung pagkaaroon ng mababang turista, no? Mababang paggamit ng ating mga sangkatubigan. Okay? So, according to the research conducted by the Faculty of Escuela Superior Polytechnic in Ecuador, no, Litoral. So sabi nila doon, the COVID-19 pandemic changes the condition of coastal areas positively. In what way? Sabi, bumalik po yung mga marine species, yung mga isda, yung mga corals. Ayan. Bakit? Kasi nga po, there is no interaction. Wala pong mga turista na pwedeng makasagabal or makadisturb dun sa pamumuhay ng mga coastal species, di ba? Kaya naman, ano pa, nabawasan din daw po ang levels of noise, no? And environmental pollution, particularly in Salinas, Manta, and Galapagos. Okay? So, nagkaroon ng magandang impact, no? In a way, globally, no? So based nga dun sa research na ginawa sa Ecuador. Kasi bakit? Nawalan po kasi ng masyadong tao na gumagamit ng mga coastal areas. Okay? So how about locally? By the way, another thing pala, so another study in India naman, sabi dito, nabawasan daw po yung, gumanda rather, no? Gumanda yung quality of water, okay? By how much? 40 to 50%. So paano po ba kinukuha yung quality of water? So meron tayong tinatawag dyan na suspended particulate matter. So those are small grains, no, na parang sand, no, yung mga pollutants sa water. So they test the water and then as they check, during the quarantine, gumanda po, there is 40 to 50% improvement in the quality of water. Okay? So one more dyan nga pala, dahil wala na masyadong gumagamit ng ating coastal areas, walang nagtatapon ng basura. So one main reason kung bakit dumudumi or nagiging polluted ang ating water, no? Basura, no? Ano pa? Yung mga paggamit ng fuel. Okay? Kasi kahit sabihin mo na ikaw ay nasa bangka, okay? So somehow merong mga oil na pupunta doon sa water dahil sa paggamit mo ng mga bangka na demotor. Okay? And additional to that, syempre nagpo-produce din yun ng air pollution. Na kung saan yung air pollutions na yun, they could settle doon sa top of water and then dissolve by the water. Possible po yan. Okay? And through that, nagkaano po ng additional pa yun na pollution sa ating water. Okay? So now here in the Philippines, let's talk about here in the Philippines. Okay? So there is a research conducted in a lake in San Pablo City, no, to check kung nagkaroon ba ng epekto yung COVID-19 pandemic dun sa bodies of water. Okay? So sabi dito, mas mababa daw po ng 15.9%, no, yung mga na-accumulate nilang suspended particulate matter or SPM. Okay? Comparing to the average number before the lockdown. No? So bago daw yung lockdown, ang laki na 15.9% na mas mababa. Okay? And compared to other years or to the previous years, that is 34%. No? Malaki ba yun? Yes, that is a big difference. No? Malaki yung ibinaba niya, 34%. Yung ibinaba ng numbers of SPM or the concentrated SPM ng tubig sa San Pablo City. Okay? So what happened? Ano ba yung naging impact ng ating pandemic, ng COVID-19 pandemic sa sangkatubigan? What is the impact? So it has a good impact. No? Nagkaroon siya ng magandang impact during the pandemic. Kasi wala masyadong gumagamit, wala masyadong namamasyal, wala, nabawasan yung numbers of trashes, garbage, di ba? So gumanda ng konti, malaki-laki na rin, ng 15.9% and 34% yung ating sangkatubigan. Pero according to the same study, no, sabi nila, this might go back to the 2019 or to the pre-pandemic quality of water. Bakit? Kasi bumabalik uli yung activities, no? Yung mga aquatic activities dun sa ating bodies of water. Okay? And ano ba pwede natin gawin? What we could do para mabawasan yun? Somehow, kahit siguro maibabalang natin ng 5% or 30%. Okay? Paano natin pwedeng gawin? Siyempre, less use of things na pwedeng makapollute sa ating tubig. No? Lalo na yung mga paggamit po ng mga petroleum products sa tubig. No? And of course, paggamit ng mga pagtatapon pala ng mga basura lalo sa mga nearby houses. Di ba? And locally, no, sa mga LGUs, pwede silang mag-conduct ng bayanihan projects, no, to clean the rivers, no, the bodies of water. Diba? Pwede yun? Pwede yun kasi during the pandemic dahil walang ginagawa yung mga tao, naisip nilang gawin yun. No? There's a lot of people, there's a lot of group who conducted cleaning of waters near rivers, beaches, and so on and so forth. Okay? So that's the effect, no, of COVID-19 pandemic to water. Okay? So now let's go naman sa last area, which is the effect or the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on the quality of land. Okay? So dito sa land, mas marami tayo dito ma-relate or maka-relate tayo. Diba? Kasi land to. Dito tayo naglalakad. Okay? So there is a act or there's a law, which is the Republic Act number 9003, no? The Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000. Okay? So this RA 9003 promotes, no, sustainable development, okay, with regards to the solid waste management. Okay? Bakit po kailangan natin yun? Dahil ang solid waste management is one of the biggest factor in the pollution. Okay? So, nilay ko yan sa land kasi diyan tayo nagtatapon. No, here in the Philippines, diyan tayo naglalagay ng basura sa lupa, 'di ba? Meron tayong mga dump site kung tawagin. Okay? Improper disposal of waste could lead to health issues, no? Pwede yung mag-lead into health issues, 'di ba? Lalong-lalo na kapag hindi sila well segregated. Okay? So, ano po ba yung principle or the objective? So, the overall principle and objective of RA 003 is that all waste should be brought to where they can be resources again. Okay? Again, where can be resources again. That's why it is very important na meron tayo segregation or solid waste management. Para yung ibang basura or ibang mga bagay na itinapon na, pwede natin siyang i-recycle. Let's say, for example, bottles of water, empty bottles of water. Okay? So, pwede natin i-recycle yan. If it is not well segregated, paano mo pa magamit uli yung tubig? Yung bote. Diba? Kaya hindi siya possible kung hindi siya segregated. Kasi kapag naihalo siya, for example, sa mga metals, nahalo siya, for example, sa mga chemicals, so hindi mo na pwedeng i-recycle yung bottle of water. Bakit? Kasi there could be an effect. No? Ano yung mga possible effect nun? Yung mga iniinom nating bote, yung mga PET bottles, mga PET bottles, those are bottles na hindi po siya nakakalasa. So, let's say for example, imagine niyo na lang, yung bote na ihalo siya sa mga toxic chemicals, tapos ni-recycle. So, what could happen? So, pwede ka rin maapektuhan nun kung gagamitin uli yan as drinking bottle. Now, kung ano yung sinasabi ko po. So, that's why segregation and solid waste management is very important. No? So, recyclables to factories, yan. Biodegradables, so pwede natin yung gawing papaba, no? Yung mga biodegradables, yung mga, kasi for example, gumagamit tayo lagi ng mga papel. So, instead of putting your papers, no, kasama yung mga metals, yung mga glass, yung mga nabasag na ganun, okay? Kung yun ay pagkasama-samahin mo, it could be recycled and could be also be a fertilizer. Diba? Kasi mabilis matunaw yung mga papers na yan. No? And there are already companies na ang ginagawa nila, nire-recycle nila, pinuproduce nila into other form of paper. Let's say for example, cartons. Diba? So yung mga ganung bagay. Okay? So, trivia lang. So, annual generation of solid waste here in the Philippines is 20 metric tons. Ilan po ba yung 20 metric tons? Okay? Marami yun. No? Generation in urban areas, okay? That is 0.5 to 0.7 kilogram per capita per day. Okay? Ang dami din po nun. Okay? Sa urban po yan, and then at rural areas, yung mga provinces na malalayo sa kabiasnan, so 0.3 kilogram per capita per day. Okay? So, there are different classifications of waste. So, una is combustible waste. Okay? Yung mga waste na nasusunog, nag-a-apoy, na pwedeng mabilis mag-apoy, combustible waste. Halimbawa, yung mga gasoline, no? Yung mga gasoline na ginagamit sa mga talyer, panglinis ng mga makina. So, pagka pinanglinis yun, okay, hindi naman nila yung ibinabalik dun sa sasakyan. Hindi nila yung pinapagamit ulit. Bakit? Kasi hindi na siya pwedeng gamitin ulit as fuel. Okay? So, those are examples of combustible waste. Okay? At dapat yung combustible waste hindi po sinasama sa ibang bagay. Okay? So, second, recyclable waste. So, recyclable waste, yan, yung mga bottles, PET bottles, mga papers, ano pa ba? Mga plastics, ayan, recyclable waste. No? Reusable waste, pwede natin isama dyan yung mga bote na babasagin. Ano tawag doon? Yung mga garapon. No? So, pwede siyang gamitin ulit. Kasi yun naman, hindi naman siya kinakapitan ng chemicals. Diba? So, next, number 3 is special waste. So, ano po ba yung mga special waste? Those are electrical wirings, metals, coppers, and so on and so forth. So, yun yung mga special waste. Residual waste, non-traditional recyclable. So, yung non-traditional recyclable, ito yung mga, for example, we could use into different area. Let's say, for example, lumang disc, no? So, we could use this or recycle into other form or other material. So, hindi siya tutunawin, pero gagawin siyang, for example, palamuti, mga ganun, non-traditional sa recyclable po yan. Okay? And then lastly, yan, yung sobrang mahalaga, okay? We should know those hazardous waste. Ano po ba yung mga hazardous waste? Those are toxics, infectious waste. Ano yung mga infectious waste? Usong-uso ngayon. Sobrang dami ngayon yan. Lalong-lalo ng panahon ng pandemya. Ano yung mga bagay na yun? Yung mga needles. No? Yung mga PPEs, face masks, face shields. Di ba? Nagtuturo siya hazardous kasi infectious siya. Kapag yung huling gumamit nun ay may virus, so by just touching it, and then hindi mo namamalayan na ihawak mo palang kamay mo into somewhere else, near your nose or near your mouth. So pwede ka rin maapektuhan. Pwede ka na rin mahawa nung sakit nung sino man yung gumamit mo. Okay? So, ano po ba ang ginagawa? What we could do? Okay? So, what is the effect, no, of the COVID-19 sa ating solid waste management? No? Ano po yung pwedeng gawin? Okay? According to the research about impact of COVID-19 pandemic on the waste management system, written by Samuel Asumado sa Dokte and Pebe Asantewa Owusu. Ayan. So sabi nila rather, the quantity of waste increased all over the world due to the single-use products and panic buying. Dumami. Di ba? Dumami daw po yung dami. Ayan, sabi kanina ni Erin, no, naalala ko lang. Sabi niya, because of the pandemic, yung dami daw po ng mga single-use products, plastics, face shields, di ba? Yung mga disposable face shields, sobrang dami niyan na, lalo dito sa Pilipinas. No? We've been using face shields since December, I think, or March, di ba? And yung mga face shield na yun, kapag ka nagasgasan, wala na, tinatapon na. Lalo yung mga nasa hospitals. no? Yung mga healthcare workers, mga single-use lang yung mga una nilang ginagamit na face shield. Pagkagamit ngayon, after 8 hours, dispose. Okay? So sobrang dami. Ilan yun? Gano'n daw karami? So sinabi niya rito to. So sabi dito, it increased by 20%. Isang halimbawa niya dito yung sa country na sa 15 countries in Africa. Okay? Umabot daw po ng 586 million, no? 830,053 numbers of face mask. Imagine niyo ilan yun, napakarami. Okay? In a single day. In a single day. Okay? 80% higher. No? I mean, 80% acceptance rate. Okay? Ibig sabihin, sobrang taas na. No? Kaya ang average use daw po ng face mask doon ay 2 face masks per day per capita. So, ganun karami. And in the whole country, that is billion already. No? I mean, whole world rather. Sa buong mundo, that is already billions and tons of face masks. Face mask pa lang po yan, ha? Wala pa yung PPEs, face shield, ano pa, yung mga gloves, no? And yung other equipments na ginagamit nila, yung mga single use, no? Yung mga plastic cups, di ba? Sa mga hospitals, gumagamit pa ba sila ng mga reusable cups? Hindi. They're using single-use cups para dun sa mga patients, mga pasyente nila. Imagine how big, how large, no? Yung additional na mga waste during the pandemic period. Okay? So this is another. So in other countries, no, so in other municipality and countries in Bangkok, so there is a 493 increase, no, generated waste tons po yan, no, in terms of tons per day. So dati 27 tons per day, during pandemic 160 tons per day. Tons. So that is 1,000 kilogram. So sobrang dami po yun. Okay? In Hanoi, so it increased 492%. In Jakarta, tumaas daw po ng 506%. And in Wuhan, no, kung saan nagmula yung COVID-19, tumaas po siya ng 600%. Sobrang taas. Diba po? So that is how the COVID-19 pandemic affects our land. No? Sobrang daming waste po yung na-produce during that time. Okay? So dahil doon, different things has been made or different ways na ginawa nila ng paraan to lessen the impact of those waste or solid waste sa ating environment, especially sa ating land. Okay? So may iba't iba po silang ginawa. So una doon, syempre, proper segregation of waste. Okay, bakit natin proper segregation, ano yung pwede niyong magawa? From those, for example, lahat ng mga PPEs, pinagsama-sama, lahat ng mga face mask, pinagsama-sama, lahat ng mga face shield, pinagsama-sama. Yung mga face shield plastic yun, it could be reused. No? Kasi pagka naman ni-recycle or recycled pala, recycled. No? Pagka ni-recycle mo yung face shield, no, it could produce another product made of plastic. Di ba? Yung mga face mask, pwede siyang i-incinerate. No? Yung mga protective equipment, ayun, pwede rin siya i-incinerate. Kasi hindi na siya pwedeng i-reuse eh. Bakit hindi siya pwedeng i-reuse? Dahil hindi natin alam kung contaminated na rin or hindi. Okay? And also the ways, no, parang inisip nila to reuse some protective equipments. No, naggumawa sila ng mga reusable protective equipments, mga reusable face mask, washable face mask, mga face shield na pwede rin gamitin, yung mga makakapal, and then with just a proper disinfections. No? So ano po ba yung mga proper disinfections? By the way, ito pala yung an example of solid waste management na ginawa nila before or ginawa po dun sa ibang bansa, no? So solid waste management, contaminated daw po. So from household, from hospital, treatment, anong ginagawa nila? Steam sterilization, chemical disinfection, encapsulation, microaggregation, shredding, incineration. Okay? To recover from those, pwede tayo makarecover ng energy and heat, no? Na pwede natin i-convert into useful energy. Okay? And of course, yung iba napupunta talaga sa landfill. Okay? So ano pa yung mga pwede natin gawin for disinfections? Ayan. So we could use high pressure steam sterilization. Ayan. Yung mga das ginagawa nila sa mga PPEs, yung mga reusable PPEs. No? Yung mga high temp, ayan, high temp incineration naman, yan na yung mga pagsunog na doon. No? Sinusunog na po yung mga equipments. Okay? Chemical disinfections, using yung mga sunrocks, yan, yung mga sodium hypochlorite, chlorine dioxide, no? There are also people who are using ultraviolet radiation, no? Yung mga yung kulay violet na ilaw, yung masangsang siyang sa amoy, no? May bad effect yun sa health, kaya pagka naggaganon sila, dapat walang tao, no? Sa health lang naman, but then in the environment, wala naman. Wag lang may babasag or may tatapon ng mali yung mga basag na UV lights, no? Kasi pagka yung mga UV lights basag tapos na itapon sa maling lugar, yun, magiging ano siya, pollution. Okay? So in the Philippines naman, pakita ko muna sa inyo kung gaano po bang kabilis yung pagdami ng waste generation, okay, sa Philippines. So from 2008 to 2022. So pataas, di ba? No? Pataas siya ng pataas. Metric tons per year. So nung 2010, in the Metro Manila, nag-produce yun ng 2 million or almost 3 million tons of or metric tons of waste. No? In the whole Philippines, 13.5 million. Okay? Compared to 2022, ganun karami yung itinaas niya, di ba? 3 million. Kasi 16 million in the whole country yung na-produce na waste. And then, sa Metro Manila ay more than 1 million. No? 4.4 million yung na-produce na metric tons per year. So, tumataas. But the question here is, kamusta ang solid waste management sa Pilipinas? Okay? So, according to an article about Philippine Local Government Jungle, COVID-19 Response and Garbage Problem by Samantha Bagayas, sabi niya dito, 20 years after RA 9003 was published, okay? After daw po, 20 years after. So 2 decades pagkatapos ma-publish ang RA 003. Anong nangyari? Only 62% ng LGUs ang merong approved, no? Approved 10-year solid waste management plan as of November 2022. So ano nangyari sa atin? Sa Pilipinas. And locally, what happened was, hindi pa rin tayo na-cope up. No? Kasi biruin nyo, that is 62% of LGUs or 1,005 out of 1,634 LGUs ang hindi pa nagkakaroon ng approved 10-year solid waste management plan. Okay? Take note, that is already 10 years after ma-publish ang RA 9006. Okay? So, those are, nasa table, no? Hindi ko lang alam kung makikita nyo. In Metro Manila and Caraga, 100%. Lahat po ng LGUs meron. Pero, sa mga susunod in Davao Region, may apat na wala pa or 92% pa lang. Ang pinakamababa po ay ang Bicol Region with only 11% ang naaprobahan ng 10-year solid waste management plan. Okay? Mababa po ba yun? Opo, mababa yun. No? And that means that the Philippines has been really affected, no, by the COVID-19 pandemic negatively. Kasi we don't have enough waste management system. Maybe that is also a factor kung bakit bumilis tumaas ang ating COVID cases. Diba? Improper disposal of infectious products, face mask, face shield, diba? Improper disposal of PPEs. Okay? So, the problem here is, ang huli kasing tumatanggap, no, ang dapat nagkakaroon ng management ay ang mga LGUs. Okay? Kasi for example, the establishment, no, halimbawa ang hospital, no, they was able to segregate their waste correctly. Okay? Segregated lahat po ng infectious, lahat ng chemicals, toxics, and then lahat ng biodegradable and so on. Okay? But then, kapag dinala na sila sa LGU, wala silang proper location kung saan nila dapat ilalagay yun. No? So, there will be a problem on that. Magkakaroon ng problema doon. Kasi, proper and well segregated from the establishment and then pagdating doon sa tapunan, hindi. Kaya nga nagkakaroon tayo ng closures sa mga dam site. Diba? Pinikisara yung mga dam site na hindi maayos ang management or waste management system. Nakuha po. So, we are really affected negatively because of the pandemic. Kasi wala pa tayo proper waste management system. Okay? And through this, pwede tayong makatulong sa isa't isa, no? By properly dispose our trashes. Okay? Ito, this is from DNR Acting Secretary Jim Sapulna. Sabi niya, solid waste management remains a major problem in the Philippines due to the mismanagement of waste segregation at local level. Okay? So, malaki, sobrang laki pa, no? Ang problema ng ating bansa in terms of waste management system. Okay? And because of that, ayan, yung nasa lower part, sabi dito, Philippines ranked third as world, buong mundo, no? As world's biggest polluter with 2.7 million metric tons of plastic waste generated each year. Diba? Ang laki nun. Third as world's biggest polluter. Okay, so paano natin siya pwedeng malagpasan? Paano natin siya pwedeng masolusyonan? So, as a responsible Filipino, let's use reusable plastics. Kasi for example, yung mga instead na gumamit ka ng mga disposable cups, dala ka ng tumbler. Okay? Kumuha ka na lang ng tawag dito, makukuha ng tubig, di ba? Use tumbler. Sobrang dami naman tumbler ngayon, di ba? Meron pa mga tumbler na worth 2,000, worth 3,000, di ba? That is actually so much for tumbler. Pero, di ba? Are you getting the point? Okay? So, there is a very big, no, negative impact sa Pilipinas ng pandemya in terms of the land quality. No? Kasi sobrang laki ng pagkukulang natin in waste management dito sa Pilipinas. Okay? So, sabi dito, no, as we conclude our discussion, okay, according to Ms. Peteri Talas from World from WMO, Secretary General, sabi niya dito, the COVID-19 pandemic is not a solution for climate change. However, it does provide us with a platform for more sustained and ambitious climate action to reduce emission to net zero through a complete transmission of our industrial, energy, and transportation system. Kasi during pandemic, nakita natin nagkaroon ng positive impact in terms of air, in terms of water. Okay? In terms of segregation, so other countries, no, nakita nyo naman yung slide kanina, they made a better segregation of waste, di ba? Of solid waste. Bakit? Kasi alam nila that it could infect yung mga lalong-lalo ng mga infectious waste ng sa ibang tao. Okay? Pero, okay, kailangan magkaroon tayo ng action kasi nagawa yung pandemya, di ba? Nagkaroon ng, nakita natin, pwede pa, kaya pa. Di ba? Kaya pa natin ibalik, isalba ang ating motherhood. Di ba? We could help Earth, no, to slow down the climate change or the greenhouse effect na nangyayari sa ating mundo. Okay? No? We just have to make necessary actions, no, as responsible people here in Earth. Okay? And lastly, okay, let me give you, no, nag-iwan na ako ng isang quote. So therefore, don't let have another pandemic to give Earth birth again. But each small action from you could contribute to the whole world. Okay? So with that, I would like to thank you so much. And may open forum po ba ito? If you have questions, pwede po kayo magtanong. Meron po ba, Mr.
Yes po, sir, meron po.
Meron ba? Hindi naman ako na-inform. Sige. If you have questions, no, medyo napahaba yung discussion ko. So.
Ayan, so thank you, Sir Jasper, for your napakaganda at napaka-meaningful na discussions with us. Ayan, so katulad po ng sinabi ni Sir, ay magkakaroon po tayo participants ng open forum. So just click your virtual hand kung gusto niyo pong magtanong kay Sir at pwede rin po kayong mag-chat sa ating chat box. Yan, partner, kumusta ka na po dyan?
Ayos naman, partner. Ayun yung mga nasa YouTube po, yung mga nanonood sa YouTube, pwede rin po kayong mag-comment. Yan, meron din po tayong staff dyan na tumitingin para makita yung mga question ninyo. At papahatid po natin yan dito sa Zoom meeting. Huwag po kayong mahiya. Meron po kayong katanungan ang gusto nyo pong itanong. Mag-comment po kayo sa ating chat box. Gamitin nyo po yan. Or mag-raise lang po ng hand. And welcome po ang mga tanong.
Ayan, so partner, pwede po na siguro natin tingnan yung mga nag-chat po kanina. Nakikita ko po marami pong nag-chat habang nagtutok po si Sir Jasper. Ayan, para ma-acknowledge po natin yung mga ideas po nila. Ayan, so habang naghihintay po tayo ng mga magtatanong o mag-share, ay may tanong ako sa iyo, partner.
Ano yan, partner?
Ayan, sa pandemic na ito, di ba, na-experience naman natin, ikaw ako, na-experience natin ang pandemic. Ayan, so, matanong po kita, partner, ano naman po yung mga lesson, yung napaka-importanting lesson about environment na inyong natutunan habang during the pandemic. Lalo na po nung mga simula, di ba? Share naman dyan, kahit po.
Pwede ba mag-pass? Charot. Yung natutunan ko na lesson, sabi nga ni Sir Jasper kanina, hindi na natin kailangan magantay pa ng panibagong pandemic para matulungan yung mundo natin na makahinga. Yan, kumbaga nasa tao na rin yung nasa tao na rin yung gawa 'Di ba? Kung yung maliit na contribution mo sa yung maliit na magagawa mo, kaya mong gawin, o kahit makaiwas ka lang sa magtatapon ng mga basura, yan, yung pagtatanim mo ng mga puno or halaman, malaking tulong or malaking contribution mo na yan para sa earth, di ba?
Yes, partner. Tamang-tama ka dyan. Ayan. Ako naman po, partner, na-struck ako dun sa sa pinakita ni Sir na picture po ng Sierra Madre. Ayan. Ayan, so ito muna, titingnan natin. Sabi po may nag-chat po, partner. Pwede mo siguro i-open.
Wait, partner, tignan natin.
Ayan.
Yan, sabi ni BSBA 1D, Sarsa Parilla, Julian Simon. Yan, sana tama yung pagbasa ko, no? We should know how to do a proper segregation and to reuse yung mga bagay na pwede pang gamitin. Yan, tama nga naman po.
Tama, partner. Ayan, thank you.
Ay,
Sabi
meron
din
pa,
po
partner.
si David Enriquez. From AB Site 1A, David Enriquez. Sabi niya, air. Avoid or lessen the use of vehicles that emit air pollutants. Sa water naman, manage our water consumption. Ayan, tipid sa tubig, kunti. Ayan, at sa land, proper waste segregation and proper consumption of goods. Ayan, thank you, David Enriquez.
Yan.
At
Meron pa tayong
next
tanong,
naman
partner,
po,
galing kay Pilip Mary. Yan, sabi niya, good afternoon po. May tanong po ako. Ano po yung malaking permanent solution para po sa maganda at mabilis na development po ng environment? Kasi po mukhang hindi po kayang tugunan lahat ng DNR po.
Okay. Ako po ba sasagot na?
Yes,
So,
po, sir.
Miss Mary, no? The very basic, no, and the very essential na pwede natin gawin permanently. Let's start helping the environment on ourselves, no? Wag natin, tulad nga na sabi ni Mary, hindi niya nakakita na parang kayang tugunan ng DNR yung development ng environment natin or yung pagganda, no, yung pagbawas ng mga pollution. Okay, so the best basic, no, basic na best pa, di ba? Parang mag-contrast yun. But then what I'm just saying is yung pinakamadali na permanent natin kayang gawin ay magkaroon tayo ng disiplina sa ating mga sarili. No? So, by how? Proper segregation. No? Kapag ka alam mong nakalagay infectious disease, huwag ka na magtatapon ng mga styro. No? Lessen the use of styrofoams. No? Lessen the use of air cons. No? Turn off electrical appliances kapag hindi ginagamit, lalo na yung mga air cons niyan. Kasi somehow, air conditioning unit, kahit na sabihin natin na hindi na siya masyadong nagpo-produce ng chlorofluorocarbon or mga carbon monoxides, meron pa rin kahit konti. So, and then, in terms of water, no, proper disposal, wag laging sa tubig natin nilalagay. No? And in air, so, mag-joke sana ako kasi wag na lang. In air, so lessen the use of too much vehicle, no? Kung kayang mag-commute, okay, goods yan. No? Kung kayang gumamit ng mga bicycles, lalo ngayon, di ba? Sobrang taas na rin naman ng gasoline. So, some could use their bicycles going to school, going to friends, and so on and so forth. Okay? So, ayun, yun yung isa sa permanent na kaya, no? Permanent na pwede nating magawa, no? Na maganda at mabilis, no? Self-discipline. Okay, so, ayan, yun lang yung mga sasabi ko. Thank you.
Ayan, thank you, sir. Partner, meron pang nag-message, sabi po ni Langson Mark Nino from CME. the burning of all things like plastic or throwing the trash anywhere, we can recycle it and reuse it to prevent the air pollution and water pollution, and also and also the proper segregation of waste. Yan. Thank you.
At partner, meron ding tanong si Bernal,
Yan.
Ian James. Sabi niya, ask ko lang po, what particulate matter yung commonly na-attach yung COVID virus? And PM 2.5 or PM 10? Thank you.
Based on the research, no, they haven't napapalabas or na-identify pa, no, kung sa PM 2.5 or PM 10. But then the COVID-19 virus kasi that ranges around 20 microns, no? So 20 microns, so mas malakas siya ng konti sa PM 2.5 and then PM 10. Okay? That's why kung yung may probably mga sa 2.5 or PM 10. Or yun nga, yung mga particulates na yun, yung mga mas malalaki to. Okay? Kasi yung mga particulate na yan, those are yung mga nakifilter, no? So kaya i-filter yung yung COVID-19, yung mga pang-filter ng 2.5 PM10. But then there is still no definite na research or studies about kung saan particulate siya kumakapit, no? But then lately kasi a research came up about COVID-19 that it is airborne. Yung nadadala siya. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, sir. So, partner, meron pa dito ng message from the College of Nursing 1B. Sabi ni Ian Chris Ventura. Sabi niya, this help to further understand. This help to further understand the different approaches, our roles and responsibilities, not only to the environment, but also being the role model of proper discipline to ourselves as well. We must conserve and appreciate more our environment holistically. Yan. Thank you, Ian.
At partner, meron pa din si Reyes Mika. Sabi niya, I think the best way to have a better environment is that we as human, we should join the volunteers to clean up our community, and we should also get involved in protecting our watershed too. Sabi niya, we can do also help to educate other people and help them understand the importance and value of our natural resources. Tama nga naman, di ba? Bago ka makatulong sa buong community, magsimula ka muna sa barangay ninyo. Ang laking tulong. Kumbaga, yung tulong mo na maitutulong sa community ninyo, malaking bagay.
Yan. So, tingnan mo, partner, marami talagang matututunan dito sa nangyaring COVID-19 pandemic po, di ba? So, katulad po ng sinasabi ko kanina, yan, so habang napang message, tulad po ng sinasabi ko kanina doon sa bundok po ng Sierra Madre, sabi, ayan. Ayan, so meron pa ulit nag-message, partner, from the College of Nursing.
Sabi niya, matrain po sana ang lahat para sa discipline regarding sa proper disposal and segregation ng basura by implementing laws in all places with consequences if lumabag, para po sana makasanayan na ng tao since marami, pero di lahat niya, ang nagbabaliwala ng rules sa basura kasi in some places wala naman parusa. Tama nga naman, di ba? And to everyone, let's do, sabi niya, wait. Let's do our part by knowing what proper disposal is, starting at home. Basically, have discipline in our every move. Yan, tamang-tama. Meron pa din, sabi ni Lamson Mark Nino, sabi niya, and also we can prevent the pollution in our earth by giving ideas and reminding the people if what is the effect of burning. waste, water, etc. on our earth. Just like what you are doing right now, sir. Yan, thank you. Yan. Sabi rin ni Gonzales Nerissa, ang pagbabago po ay nagsisimula sa ating mga tahanan. Una na ang tamang pagtatapon ng basura, disiplina is the key. Tamang-tama. Partner, marami pa eh.
Opo, marami pa po.
Sabi rin
Ayan,
Jancy.
Yes, go on, partner.
Sabi niya, in facing this pandemic, I have learned that, yan, talagang nagtitake note, ano, partner? Sabi niya, as we retreat and confine ourselves indoors, we are giving our planet liberation to rebuild, regain, and recover what she has lost due to our abusive practices. And the tables shown earlier provided a significant changes towards climate change. Maybe that's big enough for us to say we are successful combating the problem, but at least a head start to continue this rehabilitation practice. Grabe. Talagang halata mo yung sino talaga yung nakikinig, eh, no? Pero malamang dyan yung iba nahihiya lang mag-comment. O magsabi ng mga naaral nila, pero malamang niya nag-take note din sila. Or kung hindi man, at least meron silang, marami silang natutuhan. Totoo naman yan.
Opo, partner, tama ka po dyan. Meron din pong sinabi si Reyes Michael Linet. And also plant tree, and because we all know that trees can give us a food and oxygen. This also saves energy, clean the air, and help to combat the climate change. Tama ka dyan, Maika. Yan. So partner, mukhang ako naman. May tutuloy ko yung sinasabi. Ayan ulit. Ayan si Ariel. Buwan Soseko. Ay, baliktad pala. Ayan, you go on, partner. You can read it.
Sabi ni Ariel, yan. Ariel, yan. Sabi nga ni Sengku, if we can sustain 7 billion people, all 7 billion of us will look for a way to sustain all 7 billion people. And changes will start on ourselves, not on others. Tama nga naman. Kung hihintay nating magbago yung ibang tao bago tayo magbago, walang magbabago. Diba? Kailangan
muna sa ating sarili.
Tama.
Ayan. So, alam mo partner, itong pandemic po talaga nakita ko, nakakapagbigay dito ng liwanag sa mga tao, di ba? Katulad ng bundok ng Sierra Madre kanina, before the pandemic, hindi makita, hindi malinaw. Pero during the ECQ, diba, the lockdown, talaga namang kitang-kita yung bundok ng Sierra Madre. So, parang sa mga tao dun, di ba? Naliwanagan sila, nakita nila ang importansya ng environment. Nakita nila na yung importance, yung ano ba talaga yung mga importante sa buhay, di ba? Nakulong sa bahay, yan, nagnilay. Nakita ang importance ni Mother Earth. Yan. So, katulad ng ating mga participants natin ngayon. So, marami silang input, marami silang natutunan.
Sa iyo eh. Ano sa daddy?
Yan, isa pa partner, no? Sa napansin ko sa habang didiscuss si Sir Jasper kanina, yung sa air pollution, diba nakikita natin sa Facebook yung kinukumpara yung dati, yung before sa after ng pandemic. Diba, ang laki ng yung ang daming usok, hindi mo na makita yung malayo, lalo na pag papunta ka ng Manila ba yon? Diba, talaga makahalata mo yung air polluted talaga siya. Pero merong nag-post na na picture nung nag-lockdown. Yan, nakita natin na ang laki rin pala ng positive effect, di ba? Yan, tanongin ko lang si yun na pa ito naka-open ng camera eh. Yan, si BSN 1A, Dante Zedric, baka po meron kayong gustong itanong or idea na pwede nyo pong i-share. Yan. Parang kanina may iniisip kayo eh. Nakita pa eh, no?
Naririnig po ba?
Yes po, yes po.
I've answered earlier na po yung in facing this pandemic. I have learned that as we retreat and confine ourselves indoors, we are giving our planet liberation to rebuild, regain, and recover what she has lost due to our abusive practices po. So my takeaways on that is, as we are busy regaining or rebuilding our self-composure due to the depressive times this pandemic has brought us, we are also giving our earth, our planet, to breathe, to rebuild herself for a good din naman po.
Yon, thank you. Sabi ko na eh, hindi ako nagkakamali. Meron siyang takeaway eh, no? Nakita ko kanina parang meron siyang sinasabi sa bibig niya, nababasa ko parang may gusto siyang sabihin. Kaya lang siguro nahihiya. Diba? Ganun talaga yung iba eh. Pero yung ganda ng takeaway niya, ano?
Yan. So partner, may nag-chat po dito. Sabi ni Lamson Mark Nino. Wow, talaga active tong si Mark Nino. Sabi niya, if you want a better world or home, you must take care of our Mother Earth. Ayan. Magmalasakit tayo sa ating Earth. At sabi naman po ni from AB Psych 1A, classmate ko po ito, si David Enriquez. Sabi niya, gaya po ng sabi ni Dr. Seuss, unless someone like you cares a full lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. Yan. Thank you, David.
Ay, meron pa. Kanina hindi talaga nagpatay ng camera si Ma'am Emelita Bulos eh. Baka po meron kayong gustong i-share, ideas, or take away po. Naka-mute po kayo, ma'am. Pa-unmute na lang po.
Okay, regarding to our topic, COVID-19, sabi nga sa bawat ginagawa nangyayari sa kapaligiran, ang Diyos ay nagpapahiwatig na meron tayong na dapat aralin sa ating mga sarili. Na kasi ang mga tao before, we are very busy for everything. Minsan nakakalimot tayo. Now, dito sa pandemic na ito, nagkaroon tayo ng konting paghinto doon sa buhay natin, everyday life. Dito nahinto ang lahat. Hindi naman natin gustong huminto, kinakailangan huminto tayo. Yun ang naging paraan ng Diyos, ang pagkakaroon ng pandemic. Pero, sa kabila ng pandemic na ito, hindi naman lahat naging having a bad effect in our life. There is a positive effect. So, this positive effect, ngayon nga pinag-aralan natin na with regards to the environment, nagkaroon tayo ng pagkakataon upang yung problema natin sa air pollution, sa water pollution, nakita natin na kung ano yung dapat natin gawin. And then, doon sa napag-isipan, napag-aralan, nabigyan ng pansin, so I think this is the way how God help us, no, to see which is better step that we can do to prevent such problem. And that is what I can say about this pandemic, COVID-19.
And ma'am, maraming salamat po, no?
Okay.
Grabe. Totoo nga naman, parang ginawa na ng Diyos.
Okay, thank you for that.
Sige, sister, tuloy mo, partner.
Ayan, tama nga naman yung sinabi ni Ma'am Emelita. Talagang binigyan tayo ng Diyos ng panahon para huminto muna. Minsan talaga sa buhay, kailangan munang huminto, di ba? Hindi yung takbo dito, takbo dyan, busy dito, busy doon, busy dyan. Yan. Sabi ng Diyos, mahinga muna kayo, tingnan niyo muna ang mga kapaligiran. Ano po ba ang mga dapat gawin? Ano po ba ang mga babawasan? Tayo ng Diyos ng pagkakataon upang pansinin naman natin yung mga hindi natin napapansin. Ayan, so partner, mukhang wala pang nagtatanong. So, ibig sabihin partner ay
Mukhang
naintindihan, di ba? Napalinaw naman po ang pagka-discuss din po ni Sir Jasper. At napaka-participative po ng ating mga participants sa mga ating mga DYCI college students. And so,
siguro that's it,
partner,
no?
so,
Okay na siguro yun, partner. Mukhang wala namang
yes,
tatanong or mag-share ng ideas.
yes, thank
So,
you for participate. Ayan. So, go on, partner.
and thank you, Daisians, for participating well. Once again, thank you, Sir Jasper, sa very informative na information.
Sorry. Ayan, so participants, so at this juncture, may we ask everybody, ayan, hindi ito mawawala sa ating Zoom. So may we ask everybody to please open your cam for a photo. We are requesting also the indulgence of the Governor of Computer Studies, Jeremy Agapito, to please take some screenshots. Thank you. Sir Jeremy. Yan, sa mga participants ko, open po natin yung ating mga camera. Pakita naman natin ang ating mga view. Kung naka-create ang Diyos ng napakagandang environment, ng napakaginawa ng Diyos sa kanyang image and likeness. Di ba, partner?
Yes. Kakaganda at kagagwapo naman ng mga pumapasok dito.
Sige po, let's take our picture. Yan, kindly wait lang po, sini-screenshot ko na po siya. Medyo madami po tayo kaya naglilipat po ako ng slide.
Okay. Maraming nag-attend na rin, partner.
Kaya nga eh.
Ang ganda naman kasi ng ating topic, di ba, partner?
Yes, kahit ako, hindi ko palalagpasin eh.
Oo. Mukhang parang ako mag-share eh. And so, habang inaayos ni Sir Jeremy ang ating photo. And so, nag-enjoy ka po ba, partner, sa ating topic today? Sa ating webinar today?
Siyempre naman, partner. Ang dami kong natutunan. Lalong-lalo na yung mga kapwa natin estudyante, yung mga pro, diba, na umattend ngayon. And, ikaw ba, partner?
Ako nakita ko po, partner, yung mga classmate ko. Ikaw po ba nakakita ka ng classmate?
May nakita ko. Ilan?
Diba?
Sobrang dami kasi nila eh. Baka yung iba nasa YouTube.
Tama ka dyan, partner.
Ayun, may nakita akong isa. Meron bagitin yung pangalan niya. Roy. Tsaka Shem. Yun lang.
Yan, kumusta ka dyan, Sir Jeremy?
Mukhang hindi pa tapos kasi 208,000 yung participants.
Okay, done po. Okay, so partner, go.
Yan, so that's it for today's NSTP webinar. We hope that you have learned a lot from this talk. Yan, this has been Paul Adrian Conon from Department of Mechanical Engineering.
Yes, and before we end, so thank you po ulit sa mga nag-participate, kay Sir Jasper, yan, sa mga staff po, sa mga committee po na tumutong po para mailawas po ang ating webinar po ngayon. And maraming salamat po sa inyong support. Ayan, and this has been Sister April RDW from the College of Arts and Sciences. Thank you and God bless us all. So before we leave, let us all sing the DYCI hymn.
Hopes and dreams together we aspire for, walking through life's journey with God instilled in our hearts. We strive for excellence in everything we do, far more than this. We are a family, a school, a family. Our school shall always be our home, where our tomorrows start. More than a school, a family. Wherever we will go, in our hearts and minds. Dr. Yanga's colleges is where we proudly belong.
Shall carry on this mission of care and love and of passion for God's grace and light, and through all of this, we'll always be a family. More than a school, a family. A school shall always be home, where our tomorrows start. More than a school, a family. Wherever we will go, in our hearts and minds. Dr. Young's colleges is where we proudly belong. More than a school, a family. The school shall always be our home, where our tomorrows start. More than a school, a family. Wherever we will go, in our hearts and minds. Dr. Young's colleges is where we proudly belong. Dr. Young's colleges is where we proudly belong.
Yan, maraming salamat po ulit. Yan, sa mga hindi umalis hanggang ngayon. And pwede na po tayong mag-leave. Yan.
Thank you po,
Okay,
sir.
salamat po.
Thank you po.
Yan, thank you.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you.
Salamat po.